If you're a restaurant owner or a small business and you got that flight or flight response right now, this video is going to help you to see the vision of going beyond 2021. By now, you're probably not a stranger to the adaptation the world has to overcome, right? The most leanest, agile companies are the ones that are evolving right now at a point where everybody's scrambling or has always shut down their business, right? What happens when some struggle happens? People really have flight or flight response. If you're a restaurant owner or a small business and you got that flight or flight response right now, this video is going to help you to see the vision of going beyond 2021 and how you could be in the front lines of actually reaping the benefits instead of being the laggards that come at the end and struggle in business. You know, we're living in a world where knowledge and information could either propel you forward or it could be passed on, go through one ear and out the other, and you're left with being in the same cycle of repetition, struggle, not a lot of growth, barely working just to keep the lights on, busting your just to keep the business going. We want to show you exactly how you can work on your business so you can turn it into an agile, mean, lean machine, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to actually evolve with the marketplace. We're living in a digital world. Everything has transformed digitally. And if you're a small business, a brand, a restaurant that's been stuck in the old ways, that's your number one reason why you're gonna fail, and you probably already feel the pain of it, right? Being stuck in the past, doing your old ways. Organizations, businesses who always want to do one thing what they're used to be doing. Whether it's door-to-door sales, they have to go directly and sell. They don't want to digitalize their business because they don't know any better. They feel like the fundamentals are key, but the fundamentals stay the same. The tool and the vehicle you attract and you bring it to the market, that's what's changing, and that's where you need to adapt yourself and recreate yourself all the time. If you've been lucky enough to watch the emergence of technology over the past 10-20 years, you probably heard of a company called Nokia. Now, Nokia originated the cell phone, but what they really failed to do was adapt when in 2007, Apple came in the marketplace. In 1998, Nokia was actually on top of the game. They sold about 41 million units, cell phones to consumers. But when Apple came in the scene in 2009, Nokia failed to adapt and they had to lay off about 1,700 employees that had to go home without a job, all because Apple came into play and Nokia failed to recognize the new adaptation in the marketplace and failed to prepare for it. Basically, the CEOs or whoever was running Nokia at the time was stuck in their old ways. So you never want to get stuck in your old ways. If you're a restaurateur, you might be stuck in the old ways of generating foot traffic to depend on your cash flow, or your website is not really optimized. It looks like a whole menu when you visit your website, and people are confused. They're not used to ordering in an environment that there's a lot of friction to get to the checkout, where you have to bounce from your website to a third party to another checkout page and sign up and log in. You're creating a whole friction for your end user base, and that's what's gonna put you at the bottom. The top brands are doing in e-commerce are making it friction. For example, Amazon. If you don't know, Amazon actually created the one-click checkout, and they actually patented this. If you check it out here, because they knew at a very early stage that the least amount of friction wins in the e-commerce space. Now, you might be a small business owner or a restaurateur. You already have a website. You've already made a website. It's HTML. You got a webmaster. Someone did it for you. You spent thousands of dollars. You know, I don't need a website. But the reality of it is, the user experience is always changing. People are used to seeing new brands incorporate new tactics that makes things frictionless, smooth, and a better user-friendly, personalized websites. When someone revisits that website and they are remembered, these are some things that you could incorporate to make your e-commerce website or your business website in general extremely optimized, so you can generate sales on the back end of your website. Something that I like to call a virtual kitchen system. If your business adopts that mindset of having a virtual kitchen system to generate traffic, so you can fulfill that in your actual physical storefront in the form of a delivery, takeout, whatever is the case. You're in a position now you can scale, but we'll leave that for another video. Number two thing you want to do as a small business owner or restaurateur is you want to adapt to where the future is going. If you're in a position that you have a hard time working with platforms because they actually cost too much or take too much cuts from you, then you've looked at the whole thing as an upside down figure. What you really need to do is evaluate how you can benefit by working with different platforms and how you can lower your costs. There's another video for you on that coming up. But in reality, if you look at it from a point of attention gets you customers, what you really want to be doing is maximizing for as much as attention you can. And that means partnering up with different platforms, situating yourself and your brand or your virtual kitchen concept on those platforms so you could get free marketing out of it. You probably see this more than anyone else. Big brands are doing heavy budgets on video advertising, growing their database, and you want to position yourself there so you could transfer those on the back end where you have the control. Example of this is Napster. At the age when music industry was evolving and a lot of the record labels didn't want things to change, they ended up having to find themselves in a position they almost bankrupted themselves. The marketplace was changing, companies like Napster came along, the actual sale of albums had dropped due to people going digitally or buying singles digitally, and Napster was controlling the marketplace. A lot of record labels spending tons of money trying to prevent this progress from happening, but you cannot do that because you're going against the stream instead of flowing with it. So what you really want to do is go with the stream. If you struggle to get your head around how working with different platforms could benefit you, and you might want to do a little bit more research or view it at a different angle that could benefit you in the long term rather than thinking short term, which is maximizing your profits. Some things that could cost you a lot of money would be your own arrogance, your lack of doing your research, your lack of doing the numbers, your long-term thinking. These are some of the things that are going to position you in a place that you might fail instead of succeeding going forward to 2021 and beyond. And one of my favorite people that actually did it better than anyone else was Wayne Gretzky. The reason for that is while every other hockey player was actually fixated on going towards the puck, he was thinking and imagining where the puck was going to be. So he was a visionary and he was situating himself where it's going to be. You as a restaurateur, small business owner, you actually want to do that too. You want to situate yourself. Where is the future of your business model going towards? Is it going towards delivery, takeout, frictionless? Is it drones going to do deliveries? Are robots going to be in place to actually fulfill orders? Are there going to be vending machines outside where people can automatically order coffee? Yeah! Whatever is the case, is that where the future is going for your marketplace? If so, you want to adapt and position yourself there rather than being fixated on something that your parents or grandparents were doing, which was focusing on word of mouth, building that local foot traffic. Just to recap, what you really want to do is you want to focus on where your customers are heading, not just in the near term, but also in the years ahead. If you look at it today, most consumers have their head in their phone and all their socializing, brand connection, personalization, everything is built into their device. So if you want to be the Wayne Gretzky of your industry, what you really want to do is see where your customers are hanging out, what their attention is going to, and you want to situate yourself there. Right? So for example, if the marketplace is resonating with personalized videos of your product or your service and they're on TikTok or Instagram and that's where you see yourself interacting with them, you want to have a system in place that you go there and you make sure you provide value, enticing offers, whatever it is to attract them, build a presence that communicates in an outbound method, inbound method, and a multi-channel method, which we'll talk about in another video. You want to have a system in place that you go there and you make sure you provide value, enticing offers, whatever it is to attract them to your host, to your domain, so you can host your little party and profit off it at the end. All right, so this has been Sep. I hope this message was helpful to you. Make sure you leave a comment to ask questions, anything you like. You can join us and click subscribe so we can come back and do this more often for you guys. We'll see you on the next video.